in Genesis chapter 11 is pictured as an effort to depart from God and find peace on their own. Now, how do I see that? Well, in Genesis, one of the interesting thematic consistencies is the direction of travel that you see people take through the early chapters of Genesis. So there's a theme in the opening chapters of eastward travel for people. So for example, in Genesis chapter 3, after human beings, after Adam and Eve, after they reject God and they choose to define good and evil for themselves and they don't want to trust Him, there is a statement that they actually move out of the Garden of Eden, and where do they go? They go eastward. Now, how do we know that? Because they go out the end of the Garden of Eden, and God puts a cherubim at the east end of the garden. We see this in Genesis chapter 3. Oh my gosh, even right now I'm getting text messages. Is anyone getting like 5,000 text messages a day telling you about all the political things you need to, like that? Oh, it's the devil right there, I think. Anyway, it's right in the middle of a sermon. Okay, right, Genesis chapter 3 and verse 23. The Lord God sent him, that is Adam, out from the Garden of Eden to work the ground from which he was taken. He drove out the man, and at the east of the Garden of Eden, he placed the cherubim and a flaming sword that turned every way to guard the way to the tree of life. So Adam and Eve move eastward out of Eden. Yes? That's like a tangible, geographical picture. They have literally left the place of blessing. They have left the garden, the place of provision, the place of God's presence, the place of God's comfort. They have left the place where they dwell with God, and they've gone eastward. Now, is this just an isolated incident? No, because Cain does the same thing. Genesis 4 and verse 16, after Cain murders his brother, Cain went away from the presence of the Lord, and he settled in the land of Nod, which is where? East of Eden. Cain is doing what his parents did. He murders his brother. Remember what God said to him? Sin is crouching at your door, and its desire is to overpower you, to dominate you, to consume you, to dictate everything to you, to make a slave of you, and you have to master it, and he couldn't. So he murders his brother and he moves east. So then you have the flood story, and God brings judgment on humanity. And then you have Genesis 11, and this time the direction is the opposite.